Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my F1 2018 career mode. Today we are here for the Russian Grand Prix, round 16 of the season, and if you guys did miss the last race at Singapore, then do check out that episode by clicking the card in the top right hand corner of your screen. It was a very good race, and it was a resurgence of form, or should I say a return to form really, for the first time in about a decade for Sauber, so do check it out. Also, I'm still trialing, I'm still experimenting with this whole tire temperature mod being taken off and getting back used to driving without it. So I do urge you to go watch that race because it's very tough on the tires around Singapore. But yeah, we're going to jump straight into it here at Russia. And as you can see, we do have conditions for this weekend which are pretty mixed actually, especially in the race. We do have a chance of rain in the second half of the Grand Prix, so that could be very spicy indeed. Qualifying wise, it's going to be dry but overcast all the way through. In terms of this race, we do have an upgrade on the car in the form of some weight redistribution on the chassis, which is going to hopefully help us out a little bit, try to make the car a little bit more nimble and a bit more agile through the corners. And then finally, what that means for the R&D development is that, as you can see there, we are still top, but we are neck and neck with Renault, who've brought a bigger upgrade, and also Ferrari there as well, upgrading as well, and Sauber right at the top, up the sharp end. McLaren just starting to drop off a little bit now. They were competitive, but you can see they're kind of a bit of a straight line, and they're not really doing much. It's been a while since they've brought an upgrade, realistically. Now, for this race weekend, I did Friday practice, and then after that, I transitioned over into Saturday qualifying. But before diving into the session, I changed my engine because we've done the races we need to do on power unit number 2 when it comes to the turbocharger, the MGUH, and also the ICE. So I put pretty much new components of those on. The others that are still in component number 2, like the control electronics, the energy store, and also the MGUK, those are fine for wear. They don't wear as much, hence why there's 2 of those and 3 of the others, because the others do get more wear put through them. So pretty much we are on our last engine now for the season, you could say. I say engine, it's not a full one, but you catch my drift. It's the last of the allocated parts. And to be fair, I'm quite impressed how reliable this Mercedes engine has been. And, we did our work early on in the season with the durability to make sure everything is in order. And now we're kind of reaping the benefits of it by pretty comfortable being on the engines and not suffering too much from general engine wear. But now we move into qualifying, and on our first of 3 runs, we go out on the ultra soft compound tyres to see where the pace is. And we go P10, about 1.2 off the pace, not a spectacular lap by any means. It was pretty good, but considering the tyre I was on, but I knew there was more pace in the lap. So we went back out on a set of hyper soft tyres, and already finding lap time here from places where we didn't do it on the ultras. And you can see I'm half second up here, going through sector 2, now into the final sector, the final couple of corners, a lot of twisty corners, 90-degree corners around this circuit, but eventually we come around the final corner, we go P10, and an improvement of sorts, still quite a way off the top time though. And to be fair, that lap was pretty good. I was quite surprised to see how far down we were, so I knew we had a challenge on our hands. So in our last lap in Q3, or should I say in qualifying, we had to really pull something out of the bag. So as you can see, pretty much patience through here. It's the longest straight on the calendar. You look for the 100-meter board for turn 2, and then you want to try and turn the car in, really attack the inside right curb, because that's where the time is to gain. Then flat out through the long left as we now go into the next right, and this one's about really attacking that inside curb. Don't run too wide, otherwise your lap will get invalidated. And we now go into the next right, the start of sector 2. This one also as well, you want to attack that inside curb, not too much though, because you will get your lap cut and invalidated. And then this one here, I'm not happy. I think that was just about legal. Might have been a cut, I'm not sure. I'll have to watch it back in the slow-mo. And then the left again. This is all about momentum, this middle sector. It's all about flow, feeling the confidence with the car, and just generally feeling like you can attack the racetrack. Again there through the right, very lucky in the exit to not get my lap invalidated. And now on the back straight, maximum power, using the fresh engine to the best of its ability as we now look for the 100-meter board to break down to 3rd gear for the apex of this little right-left chicane combination under the bridge, and then get on the power as soon as you can through the left. A little bit too early there as we get a tank slapper, but then into the left-right chicane again, off cambered left, followed by a really nice cambered right to really help the car flow through. And finally 2 more corners to go. The penultimate corner, 4th gear, you want to attack that inside curve, don't run too wide, and then open up that final corner as much as you can and attack the line and basically sacrifice your exit to just get that final corner done as fast as you possibly can. And that is a lap of the Sochi Autodrome. P6 in qualifying, not too bad, and it took a special lap really to really get that out of the bag. I was quite happy with that one, to be fair, yet we were still quite a bit off the pace. LECLERC dominated. Again, this guy, he's finding form. Leclerc, what a lap that was from him. Pole position comfortably ahead of Perez. Then Vettel, my championship rival, P3. Perez also my rival in P2. And then Bottas 4th, Hülkenberg 5th. And we are in P6 ahead of Sainz, Raikkonen, Ocon and Alonso in the top 10. So all in all, a pretty decent qualifying. But now let's see what we can do in the race in the mixed conditions for the Russian Grand Prix.
Good afternoon from Sochi as we prepare to get underway for the Russian Grand Prix. The championship battle has some time to go yet, but still expect no quarter to be given here on this circuit that made its debut in 2014 and has already seen some classic racing. It's time to go racing then at the Sochi Autodrome, where the long run down to the heavy braking zone at turn 2 is one of 2 DRS zones around this 3.6 mile circuit. The other, of course, down into turn 13. 18 corners make up a lap here today, with an average speed somewhere in the region of 130 miles an hour. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Now I want to ask you about Nico Hülkenberg. There's a new gearbox in the back of that car, which means a grid penalty, and hopefully some excitement as they make their way through the field.
Fingers crossed that's one failure they won't have to worry about today at least. There's not much of a silver lining to starting down the field with a penalty, but I think they'll be able to make some of that back up over the course of the race.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Bottas, Martinez and Sainz, Raikkonen, Ocon, Alonso and Nico Hülkenberg, Ericsson, Ricciardo, Pierre Gasly and Verstappen, Hartley, Magnussen, Stoffel Van Dorn and Lance Stroll. Sirotkin and Roman Grosjean starts from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Right then, here we are on the grid for the Russian Grand Prix. P5 after promotion due to a penalty, but we're still on row 3, which doesn't change much. It just means we are on the clean side of the grid. Now, like I mentioned at the start of the video, there is a chance of rain in this race, and it's a lot more possible than recently. You know, we've got 2 of the 6 icons, of the 7 icons, sorry, on the screen actually for rain. So I reckon we are going to be on the inters at some point in this race. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. Strategy-wise, we're going to try and stick to the one stop. If we do an extra stop around here with the rain coming, we're going to be absolutely screwed unless there's a safety car. So we need to try and stay out and make this one stop happen. And yeah, we're going to go on the hybrids straight onto the ultras and then basically wait until the rain arrives. In terms of the fuel, we're running only 1 lap extra fuel. I don't want to be too heavy because of the rain coming later on. We don't need that much fuel for the entire race. My main challenge here is to keep the tire temperatures under control. We did a good job in Singapore last race, in my opinion. I was quite happy with how it went, and I'm going to try again this race to do the same. But yeah, with P5, let's see what we can do. We've got a fresh engine in the back of the car pretty much, and hopefully we can try and get good performance out of it and try and do a little bit better than we did in Singapore, where we kind of just fell apart really in the race on strategy. So yeah, let's jump into it, and it's now time for round 16 for the Russian Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. Let's get ready for the 5 red lights here at Sochi. Lights are on and they are off, and away we go. Decent start actually, quite happy with that one. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. Signs all over the back of me in the Renault trying to make a move. We're just picking up a toe. This is a massive slipstream fest. Down towards turn 2. Bottas and Vettel side by side. We have to yield. But I could have maybe gone for a move on Sebastian there. Leclerc leads, Perez all over the back of him at the moment. Mercedes 3.5 as things stand, which is good. Bottas locks up. We tap the back of Vettel ever so slightly. Luckily though, we keep our front wing hopefully in one piece. Yes, we do. And now Sainz is down my inside because of that compromised exit. Sainz makes the move. I get on the AstroTurf and I'm on the back foot here now. Ocon is trying to have a look. Around the outside, no way through there, Sonny Jim. Again though, Ocon trying to go for the move. The AI getting their usual acceleration, which is ridiculous as per usual. We just fend him off though. Shame really, we got a good start, but that one little error there where Vettel tried to get past Bottas because Bottas locked up, it kind of cost me dearly. So I'm definitely paying the price for that. But we have settled now for P6. So let's get underway in this race and let's see what we can do on these tyres. It's all about maintaining these in the window, not overheating them. And it's important we stick to the strategy, because if we can't stick to the strategy, we're going to be in big trouble this race. We do not have race pace at the minute. I'm struggling big time here. 1 second off the race pace, and I'm starting to form a train behind. DRS is now enabled, and Ocon is looking rapid in that Force India. Doesn't quite go for the move into turn 2, but we are on the back foot here. Ocon is so fast on the straight in that car, it's unbelievable. I'm just starting to find my race pace now. Finding my rhythm, you know, chaining my corners and linking everything up. Ocon's starting to drop back a little bit. He's still within DRS though, which is kind of annoying because he gains so much on the straight, I can't shake him off. But we are catching the guys in front, which is important. Speaking of guys in front though, Leclerc and Perez have extraordinary pace. It's too strong. I can't match that. It's unmatchable basically. So this could be a battle just for the podium here today, I think. Unless the rain, you know, plays its hand in the conditions and is a factor in itself. But we'll have to wait until later on to find out. As I take my first corner cut of the race there. Not ideal, but we should be within Sainz's DRS here as we set a personal best. And I think, yeah, we might have just broken Ocon's DRS. Tyres right now are in the sweet spot, 101 degrees Celsius. That's where you want to be as we just brush that wall on the left hand side. Looking good so far. Looks like it's all under control and they don't seem to be exceeding that working range, which is what I want. So we can now really start to focus on these guys in front and making these moves. I am struggling just to close this gap. I can't lie, Bottas is starting to pull away now. And Sainz is just getting such a perfect slipstream from Raikkonen. I can't really close up as I'd like. Good thing is though, we're now comfortably ahead of Ocon. 7 laps in. And it looks like everything's under control. Left rear 103. So it's getting towards that danger point. So we have to be careful now. Maybe start managing the tyres a little bit as we are still becoming on lap 10. But so far everything's looking pretty good as Alonso has now got past Ocon. So that's going to push them back even further. I've managed to get high temperatures under control, but it has meant I've had to drop off the pace and drop back from Sainz and co. And kind of drop back into the clutches a little bit of Ocon. But I'm going to come in this lap a lap earlier than expected because if the rain does arrive, which it probably will, apparently it's 10 minutes away, then it makes sense we're going to try and get the undercut. We probably won't be on those tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. If we are, I'll assume the consequences later on, but I want to try and get myself in this race. So we're going to pit in this lap and do a lap earlier, hopefully. Right, into the pit lane. Let's see if this is still glitched. Get it all slowed down, there we go. Right, so they've actually fixed that for now, that patch. So no more penalties for speeding into the pit lane, which is nice. I don't have to do the alternate line, but here we go, onto the jack. Right, good stop, 2.4, good stuff from the boys. We should rejoin just behind Romain Grosjean here, if all goes according to plan. It's going to be close with the Williams and also Van Dorn. Actually, then I say that, I might actually be last here. I'm going to get caught in a bit of traffic, I reckon, which is not what I wanted, but it is what it is. Hopefully they pit in this lap. They're all on hypers, so let's hope for the best. But here we go, rejoining onto the racetrack. And we are behind Van Dorn and Sirotkin, so not ideal as they're actually battling it out as well. So we're going to lose a hell of a lot of time here. We're going to engage hot lap ERS. Try and make these passes if we can because we need to waste the least amount of time as possible. You can see the difference in grip I have on my tyres. Van Dorn goes defensive. We're going to have a look around the outside. There we go, good stuff. Van Dorn though holds it in. Like every other team, they've got more straight line speed than me, but we're going to go around the outside. And this time we get the move done. Now I'm behind Sirotkin. A bit wide there. Getting my second warning as I had to correct some mid-corner oversteer. But here we go, slipstream on Sirotkin, the hometown hero. We're going to get back past him, overtake ERS engaged, and that is the move done. And now we can push in this final sector with the clean air. Right, here we go, let's get past Lance Stroll. We've got Alonso and Hulkenberg in the pit lane, so we're comfortably back out ahead of those guys. But here we go, slipstream on Lance Stroll. Green flag, something's happening in front maybe. We're going to pull to the inside though of the Williams, down to turn 2. Job done, move done. Vettel's in front of us, you can see there the Ferrari for position, so that's where we need to be. Pierre Gasly out of the race in the Toro Rosso. So he retires yet again in this career mode in this season. Let's keep our head down though, let's try and push on these fresh tyres if we can. Right, there's a hell of a lot of traffic in the pit lane this lap. Lots of cars serving their pit stop this time round. Let's try and get a good exit here, focus on our straight line speed. Personal best, 31.5, lots of cars in the pit lane there. We've got Carlos Sainz rejoining right now, so that's where he is. We've got a bit of an undercut because we've definitely made back some time on him, which is good, but not enough. Not that I think I was going to undercut him, but, you know, I was hoping to close the gap a little bit more. Ultimately, that time we wasted battling with Van Dorn and Sorokin cost us. Could have been a hell of a lot closer, dare I say, even within DRS. Sainz is being held up an absolute treat here by Romain Grosjean, which is giving me the chance to really close up the gap. We get past him now, which is annoying, but he's definitely lost a lot of time. And Vettel and Bottas are actually battling for position as Bottas gets back past Vettel, I think. It's all kicking off in this race, and this is what we need to stay on this pace, try and be strong, hope for the rain to arrive, and make our way through the traffic. Grosjean comes in, so he's going to get out of my way quite nicely, which is exactly what I wanted. So we've now got a clear view of Sainz. Can we catch him? Another personal best. And we're back into P6. So all the positions now back as they were. It's all about a raw pace now, and do we have it? Let's find out. This battle between Vettel and Bottas is really getting tasty. Both myself and Sainz are really making inroads here on these guys, and it's going to become a four-car scrap yet again. Apparently rain is imminent according to Jeff on the radios, who set another personal best. So we're kind of burning up the fuel and also the tyres here, trying to really catch up to these guys and be in the money for when this rain arrives. There we go, the rain has arrived at the Sochi Autodrome. This is when the race now is going to get very, very tasty for strategy and just general conditions. Let's see what the intensity is like early on, and we'll try and judge it from there. Oh, it's all kicking off in front. Bottas and Vettel too wide, side by side through turn 3. The track is starting to get a little bit slippery now. Got to be careful with the grip levels, and also I am one track extend away from getting a penalty, so I have to be very careful. Grip levels starting to really fade now. That lap 3.5 off my personal best. This could be the lap potentially. Potentially, we'll have to wait and see. Bottas is right here as well, so we need to make sure we don't trip over each other. I just noticed my fuel for some reason has gone extremely negative. That's a glitch, I know it is, because I've had that before, which is kind of annoying because now I've got to run lead mix for no reason. But the grip has definitely gone now all of a sudden.
New strategy is available on the MFD.
Yep, the grip has literally just disappeared. New strategy recommended. That means Bottas is going to come in and we're going to have to stack, unfortunately. There's no other way of doing it. No pretty way of putting it. And that's going to potentially ruin any chance we have of finishing higher than P6. How have I got... Why have I got a penalty? How have I got a penalty there? Again, what? So I'm going to get held up. I'm going to have to serve a 5-second stop go. I mean, I don't even know anymore. Look at this. This is so painful. Come on. And now I'm being held up by absolutely everyone. That, I give up. Like, literally, that entire sequence was just terrible. That's worked out as bad as it possibly could have, to be honest. Oh well. Never mind, we're going to have to keep going. We're now P7 in this race. We've lost an extra place, not sure to who, but we've lost it nonetheless. Oh, big screen freeze there, leaving the pit lane. So we're probably going to be on these tyres now for the rest of the Grand Prix. Difference is we lost our entire gap that we had to this midfield pack, and now we're going to have the entire midfield behind us. So if I don't have pace in these tyres, I'm going to be in big trouble. Verstappen in the pit lane, he was the one remaining guy to pit, so in amongst all that controversy, we somehow still held on to P6, but that's how much of a cushion we had compared to midfield. Now Kimi is flying and he's so much faster than me, but I'm trying to get this fuel back on target. The car feels horrific in these conditions. I don't like it at all. It's so understeery. I'm running 2.8 on the wings, but I'm running 8 on the ballast, but we are shocking through the corners. There's so much understeer, and Raikkonen is closing the gap. Luckily though, he's not close enough just yet. And I'm still running lead mix, but I'm now pretty much back on target, which is good news. So we can then go back to standard and actually have decent, somewhat decent engine power. So yeah, I think we should be okay to hold on because there's no DRS. Otherwise, Kimi would just fly past as we get sideways through there. But I think we're good. Let's try and focus and try and bring this one home. Oof, big wobble there. Very scary moment. The rain now has properly arrived. You can see the spray coming off the tyres and also the spray coming out the back of the car. Raikkonen trying to make a move. Alonso catching up in the McLaren, but ultimately they're not really close enough, at least not yet. Finally found some pace on these tyres in these conditions, and I'm starting to leave Raikkonen behind. So right now we're looking very much under control, and no real pressure on me now to deliver this result. I think this is the best we can do unless there's a VSC or a late safety car literally right now. If not, then I think it's going to be all she wrote. There might be a chance of heavy rain very soon, but I don't think it's going to be enough to affect the race. So I think we're going to end P6 here today. I'm starting to really fly around the circuit now. I've taken a second out of signs on that last lap, and I've really left Raikkonen behind. I can probably run rich mix now to the end of the Grand Prix, but I'm coming alive in these conditions. Ultimately, it's too little, too late, as I wish I'd found this pace as I went onto the Inters laps ago, but it's just taken me so long to really get in the groove of the setup and really make this understeer suit my driving style, basically. Last lap of the race, gap inside 11 seconds now to Sainz. That's how good our pace has been. But again, like I said, look, too little too late, but I take some solace and some positives from the fact we found this late race pace. A bit like Singapore, to be fair. In Singapore we found some pace in the last 5 laps or so, and it's good positives going forward, knowing that our tyres won't always get worse, they can actually get better towards the end of the Grand Prix. Here we go then, through the final couple of corners. In the final sector, Charles Leclerc wins 2 in a row in this season. He won the last race in Singapore, he wins again in Sochi for the Sauber team, and we are going to come through the final corner to finish in P6 where we qualified, ultimately a position down from where we started. But all in all, I'm going to say that's a decent race considering we struggled in the dry conditions. Like I said, I take positives from the pace right at the end of the race there. So looking at the final race results, Charles Leclerc wins at the Sochi Autodrome ahead of Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas. Sebastian Vettel P4 ahead of Carlos Sainz, and we finish in P6 ahead of Kimi Raikkonen, Fernando Alonso, Marcus Ericsson and Daniel Ricciardo. Esteban Ocon just misses out on the points after causing me trouble in the earlier part of the race in the dry conditions, and Pierre Gasly the only DNF of the race here today. In terms of the driver standings though, we lead by 79 points over Sergio Perez, 88 over Sebastian Vettel and 101 over my teammate Valtteri Bottas. And in terms of the constructors, we lead away by 120 points over the prancing horses. With only a few more races left to go, it's starting to look very unanimous and almost a formality at this point. But all in all, that is it for Russia, guys, and we're now going to move into the laptop.
How do you feel the weather affected the outcome today? You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners? Great, well that's everything.
Right, so here we are on the laptop and it's contract negotiation time. Now, realistically, this is my best chance to potentially have Hamilton as my teammate for next season. And by doing that, I have to go to another team.
Consider the benefits of moving to another team. Good thinking. Maybe there are better options elsewhere.
Right, so here we are on the laptop. Now, I've got to be honest, I do want to move teams just for a short term so I can get Hamilton back in the sport. Therefore, we're going to do what I was meant to do and what was meant to happen after Budapest, and that is go to Williams.
Let's consider the benefits of moving to another team.
So we're going to try and bargain for a decent contract with the Williams team. So first of all, we're going to go for the hard team goal. We're going to go for the maximum on pretty much everything and see what they say. And let's see what they get back to me with. I think that's going to be interesting to see what happens.
They didn't like those terms. Let's try again.
Right, so fair enough. What we'll do is we'll get rid of the pit stop efficiency and let's see what they say to that.
We're asking for too much here. We need to make some compromises.
Damn, so close. So close. What we'll do is then we will get rid of the unlimited upgrades per department. Or should I get... Yeah, we'll do that one. We'll get that down to level 2 and that should do the trick. So let's get that contract signed.
Our proposal has been accepted, so start saying your goodbyes. You'll be moving to the new team for the next race weekend.
There we go, done. So basically the target is simple. We are going to do Williams for the remainder of the season. We are within touching distance of the Drivers' Championship. And pretty much, Mercedes should win the Constructors. So I've done my work for them. And hopefully they win the Constructors. And the objective is that by round 1 of Season 5, which is next season, it should be myself and Hamilton as Mercedes teammates. Controversial choice, but it's been done. So yeah guys, I'll see you in the next episode. If you did enjoy this video, then please do drop a like. Also, do get subscribed if you're new to the channel for daily Formula 1 content, and also turn on notifications to not miss a single video from me. And finally, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, thank you for watching guys, and I'll see you on my next one very soon. But from me, it's goodbye.